Hi, welcome to this week's Trailblazer Tuesday. I'm Chris, your host. This week, I came across this concept about business outcomes versus technology outcomes, right? And the emphasis often on, the real focus on technology outcomes. And how might we frame this up differently so that we are putting the emphasis on business outcomes? Um, Using a different example of construction technology, if we look at equipment, there's often a well understood and, in fact, implied business outcome to construction technology equipment. Think about the Bobcat or perhaps the scissor lift, right? We buy or lease a scissor lift on site for very well understood business outcomes: safety, you don't have people going up and down ladders, and real time efficiency, right, for overhead work. So it has an implied business outcome. When we move into the realm of construction information technology, IT, I think we lose that framing. And oftentimes the focus shifts to the technology outcome as opposed to the business outcome. So a couple examples, a lot of companies have or are thinking about selecting and implementing a project management solution. Now, you might think that implementing a project management solution has a natural business outcome of improving project management, and it does, but oftentimes we're not explicit in it. The framing becomes implementing the project management for its own purposes. And in fact, we do a lot of work with organizations to reset and say, hey, we're not getting the return we thought we would from this investment. Can you help us? And we say, yeah, let's frame it up in terms of business outcomes, right? What was the purpose in investing in a project management solution? Some other examples, rolling out a new module, right? We need to roll out the blankety blank module. Well, that's a technology outcome. We need to replace our finance system. Again, technology outcome. How do you know you're done? Well, once you've pulled one thing out and put the other thing in, you've achieved the technology outcome. Or, more acutely, the buzzword in the industry seems to be integration. We need to integrate the data from here into the system over there, right? Integration. And those are clearly technology outcomes. Now, how do we shift and start to think about the business and frame it up as in terms of business outcomes? And I think the first step, and we advocate the first step, is to really love the problem, right? Really lean into the problem and why is this technology initiative important in terms of the business outcome we're seeking to achieve, right? Why is this a problem? And why is it a problem you should be addressing now? And as we understand that problem, we can get a better sense of where we are and then where we want the organization and our people to be that improves the business, right? So, and fundamentally, and I'm going to come back to this, well, I think I've touched on it a few times, but fundamentally, the answer's in the term IT, right? In terms of information technology. The answer is not technology, it's information and the job that information needs to do. So going a layer deeper, if you think about implementing construction technology, information technology, we like to think about it in terms of, three facets: a framework, harnessing data framework. And we think about it in terms of, a bit of a layer cake: technology, data flow, and then information. And as you step through each of those layers, you can think about where you are today and where you want to be from improving the business standpoint. So for technology, technology exists to give people time, right? That's fundamentally what technology is there for. Information technology is about giving people time in the management of data, but we'll get there. But technology is about giving people time. So going back to the Bobcat example, the Bobcat saves hundreds and hundreds of people hours in terms of moving and digging and what have you, right? It's well understood. Well, as we implement technology, information technology, is that giving people time or is it taking people's time, right? The solutions you may have deployed today, are they Are they lessening the burden of data management or increasing the burden in other ways, right? And I've talked about technology being this magic trick that when it works, it disappears and gives users time, right? So technology, time, right? Business outcome. Data flow, right? Where is the data and where do you need it to be? All right. So for the data to do the job it needs to do, whether it's paying people or issuing invoices or creating change orders, right? There's a flow of data to accomplish a job. And a lot of what ails the industry today is the effort it takes to manage that data, right? To manually move data from here to there, manual data entry, massaging data in Excel to get it ready for the next system. There's just a lot of overhead in that effort today. And so in terms of data flow, I don't like the term integration. In fact, I'm trying to get our company to eradicate it from our lexicon, but it is the term that people say once we integrate, then we'll have magical outcome, right? And I don't believe that. But what we can do is actually improve the data flow. And that's not a 0 and 1, that's a continuum of improvement. So how do we improve the data flow so it gets to where it needs to be more easily, more cost effectively, quicker, right? That's improved data flow. Now, why do we need the data to be somewhere? Well, that's information, the third tier, right? And information exists to do a job. And most often, not always, but most often, that job is to provide insight to make business decisions, right? The data is there for a reason. And so you can assess that tier as well. What is the objective of having data information in this location? And the information that we're receiving, is it doing the job we need it to do, right? Whether it's for one person or many people or different stakeholders. And you can improve that information product to improve the insight to make decisions, right? And so that's the entire spectrum from going from technology through to information to business outcomes. So that's really the framing here, is shifting the focus from technology outcomes that can have a loose coupling to a business improvement to actually putting the emphasis on business outcomes. And what it really amounts to is connecting the information from data, connecting information to people to improve your business, right? And that's business outcomes. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free. We'll be doing a Q&A, AMA in the near future. And in the meantime, I look forward to seeing you next week. Crush it.